Happy Sunday. Greetings, everyone out there in the world. Coming back at you. This is Dalton, West Coast Roller, aka out here in the desert. Just thought I would do an impromptu live stream and say hi to everybody. And because I haven't really done much videoing or any live streaming at this spot that I'm in. I've just been so busy with a lot of different projects going on. So boom, here I am out here. Yeah, let's go ahead and do this. Nice to see you all again. I hope the sound's coming in good. I've got an external microphone. I've got outstanding internet reception right here. I've got a Wii booster boosting right now. I've got probably at least 4 to 5 bars of signal right now, so it should come good. And I'm going to grab something to drink, and then I'll take you guys outside and show you a little bit around of where I'm at. We are, I think, on the cusp of a wind storm, and it's supposed to get up to like 30-mile-per-hour gusts. So that could get a little bit interesting out here in the old desert out here, if you know what I mean. I got tunes too. Got oh, good song. Don't want to get banned because I know that I've got it monetized right now, but ever since I did the lithium battery upgrade on my RV, which I haven't shown any of you yet, I've been having a good little time out here in the desert. Been able to crank my stereo. I've got a 2,000-watt inverter. Let's take a little gander outside. Don't want to get too far from the inside of the RV because that's where all of my hotspot is right now. But got this all powered up. But here we are, Ogilby, California. I feel like I've actually moved. I used to be parked across the way, and then I've moved over to this concrete slab, if you guys can believe this. I've got a concrete slab in the desert. Yes, this is all part of the adventure, all part of the camping out here. This is public private land, but anyways, I got a concrete slab. I've was having some issues with dust over there, and so I moved my rig over here. I've got some work that I plan on doing onto my rig, onto the RV, and I'd like to still detail it, maybe do a little bit of painting, maybe pull off one of my wheels and take a look at the brakes and see how the bearings look and the brake pads. You know, do a little inspection, check out the leaf springs. I've come upon a really good YouTube channel that I wanted to share with you guys, and it has to do with trailers. There's a gentleman in Texas, and he's got a YouTube channel called The Trailer Smith. The Trailer Smith. Go check him out. He's got some great content on trailers. Anything that has to do with trailers, tires, parts. He's got some great content, and he talks a lot about, you know, maintaining your trailers. So good stuff over there. Let's get back to showing you guys around a little bit. There you go. There's my little concrete pad out here. Got everything kind of stored out here right now. Got the old Banshee right there. Been doing a lot of still doing some testing and tuning with the jetting on the motor. I'm still dialing in some jetting, and that's going pretty good. With That's going pretty good with that, but I do plan to make some update videos talking about what I found out with the jetting and any new kind of new updates with that. But just wanted to come and talk to you guys a little bit. You know, here's a little bit of a kind of a picture of what it looks like out here in the desert. You know, today's not really that nice of a day. The dunes are even covered, the Glamis sand dunes, which are right over there, and you can, on a nice clearer day, you can see the sand dunes. But on a really windy, dusty day like we're having today, it's just nothing but dust out here. So you can still breathe well, no no troubles breathing or anything like that, but just doesn't make much for visibility. Um, just doing a little walk around right now. Here's kind of another little view of where I'm at. Still going, so that means the internet signal is still going pretty strong, which is good. That can be half the battle out here, is not having good enough internet. It sure would be nice if I had a Starlink set up, but maybe someday in the future I will have one of those. I just cannot justify the expense of one of those right now. So this is, calling it Ogilby, or Ogilby, California, which technically that's kind of where this area is considered on a map, but some other people refer to it as the American Girl Mine camping area. There was a group of Vanagons that had a big meetup, and they were camped all out here. But it's a pretty nice area. You can hear the train. There's a train running right now. I can hear that. And yeah, oh, can you hear the train? It's a running. I appreciate any of you that are watching. I know I really should schedule these live streams instead of doing an impromptu, but just trying to test and see how the signal is, see how the connection is out here. So it's good. I think it's a good time to do that. The wind is starting to pick up a little bit. Maybe get a little bit more sound of the train over there in the distance. Right over there, it's the train running. Not sure if the camera's going to pick that up or not. Hey, Big Billy, what's happening? How's your Desert Fox camper been working out? It's been working out really, really good. Really, really happy with it. Um, I am the third owner of it. The second owner didn't use it very much at all. And then the original owners, they didn't use it very much at all. This rig, it's in really, really good shape. I got, I think, quite lucky during the time that I was shopping for it, and because a lot of these rigs, in this kind of era age, they're to find a clean one that hasn't been very well used, it can be hard to find. In some cases, you may have to drive several hundred miles to look at one. But I bought this. Um, I had to travel about 70 miles to go look at it, not that far, and it ended up being about the condition that I was expecting it to be in. So I got really lucky. A lot of folks don't get. I think a lot of people don't get that lucky when they're looking at used RVs, because sometimes people oversell them, and then when you go look at them, they're really not in the shape that they said that they were. Anyways, it's been a terrific rig. I've been very, very happy with it. I haven't had any problems with it, and it just does. It just, like I said, it just hasn't been used that much. It's in pretty dang good shape. It just hasn't been not. I don't think it was ever taken really out of state. It was in Washington State, and then it was the first owners, and the second owners. They were on the dry part of the state in eastern Washington. So this trailer hasn't really had much exposure to, a moist climate. It's mostly been in a dry climate its whole life, which that helps a lot. But yeah, and I also think that it was undercover too. But I'm really happy with it. Really, really tickled happy with it. I like the rig. I like the size of it. Um, Nothing is perfect. It's um, but it's great. It's very comfortable using the shower, using the bathroom, the bedroom. I've got plenty of being someone who's 6 foot 7 in height. I've got plenty of room to move around in. And one of the features that I really like about it, take you inside here, is the cabinetry in here. I really like the cabinets, because in the Desert Foxes, they construct the cabinetry and they go all the way to the ceiling. So there's just an abundance of storage inside. And I've noticed that in a lot of other toy haulers, some of the other brands, the cabinets aren't as tall, um, and the quality, it's not as good as the Northwood. The Northwood builds them. Of course, over here I got all my food in, and I still have quite a bit of room inside here to put more food. This is a 24-foot long trailer. So they really pack a lot in here, into these rigs. This is the bed up here that I'm not using, but I have it in all the way in the raised position. And I've got just some linens and pillows and things that I keep up there. And then over here, I've got, a lot of, books and things, and cassette tapes, and, reading materials. Got a stereo, pretty good cranking stereo. I've got speakers outside, speakers inside. It's got a great tunes, great stereo in it. More stuff over here. Right here is where I have all of my electrical devices and components and charging. This is where I charge everything, and got a compartment for that. This was where a TV used to be, and I'm going to be building a shelf in here that I can building a shelf, and then I would like to enclose this with a cabinet door. It's got an 8 cubic foot refrigerator, but just a lot of storage space in here. And I've been, slowly accessorizing it with, I mounted a knife, a magnetic knife holder. This is a great thing. I find magnets in the RV to be super, super helpful for holding things and keeping things in their place while traveling down the road. So I utilize a lot of magnets. And then, of course, the bedroom, the bedroom area. It's got a nice, wardrobe closet here in this model. This is the 24 AS. It's got 3 drawers down below. Great access underneath the bed for storage. It's got I believe, a 70-gallon fresh water tank on it. But this trailer, it only weighs, I think the dry weight is like 8,000 pound, but it has a 10,500 gross vehicle weight limit. So up to 10,500, which my truck tows it great down the road. That's another reason why I like it. It's a great matchup for my truck as well. So anyways, I kind of rambled on there, Billy. I hope that if I answered some of your questions for you. If you have any more questions, yeah, comment below. I'd love to share what I can about the rig. Um, yeah, Desert, Northwood they've got a good reputation. You will pay more of a premium for a Northwood, for a Desert Fox. If it's in good condition, you will pay, a higher premium than some of your other brands. I don't know what I would compare this one to, but I would, if you're looking for kind of, not top of the line, what's top of the line? Like, I don't know, ATC, one of the aluminum built trailers. But the other nice thing, these are billed as a 4-season toy hauler. So they've got really good thick insulation in the ceiling and in the floors. That's another nice thing. This has heated tanks. So when you're plugged in to shore power, the tanks will stay heated in the colder weather. It also has an onboard generator. It's got a 3,500 watt generator on board, which is nice. That 3,500 watt generator, I can run a 30 amp device with it, like a small welder. I could run that with this gen set that I have. The shower in here as well is I like the shower in here too. It's got, a lot of light in here. It's got a skylight. It has a lot of room for the bathtub. I just replaced the faucet, the shower faucet in here with an all stainless steel metal faucet. Works great. The last one I had, which was the factory installed one, it had leaked a lot and it was just leaking water all over the place and wasn't pressurized very well taking a shower. So that was great. And then the other thing I like about the coach is Northwood did a great job with leaving access to replace things, to replace a faucet. There's great access to do that. And yeah, so overall, I have been very happy and pleased with it. And I have been doing some thinking about like what would make this setup really good for me. And you guys might laugh, but I have been like looking at a box trucks, like a 24-foot box truck with a a 24-foot enclosure with a lifting and a lowering gate on the back, and that would be the tow vehicle, and that would be like my quote unquote toy hauler garage. I put all of my tools, basically everything, that I have in here, I would put in the back of that box truck, including the four-wheeler. And then this would basically be my live-in coach. So I've been really thinking about a lot about that down in the future potentially, as like that would totally for me complement this setup. And then I could come out here and haul all of the toys I would want, all of the tools, all of the equipment, and then I would still at the end of the day be able to have a nice rig to live in, to sleep in. And then the other benefit of that is when I'm traveling down the road, going to various places on the road, I can have a nice place to sleep without having the smell of the fumes. Because that's kind of one of the things with these toy haulers. Unless you have a garage in your toy hauler, something that divides the toy compartment from your sleeping area or living area where you eat and you cook, you're going to get some fumes, like the smell of fuel and fumes. And I know I've done it in here. I've put my ATV inside here, and I had a nice smell whiff of gasoline, which I really disliked. And so I pretty much, if I want to sleep in here, I can't have the four-wheeler in here or really anything that has a fuel tank because I'll smell the fumes, and it can be pretty intoxicating. So, anyways, excuse me. Hey, Florida Woods. The keep the Banshee locked up at night. Yes, the Banshee is locked up at night. I've got it padlocked and chained. Um, it's all locked up. Billy, Big Billy, glad you found it. Remember your Northern Light days, but like your current setup. Thank you. Yes, I really like this setup much better than any setup that I have had previously. Fifth wheel truck camper. Um, for myself, like I said, being as tall as I am, 6'7", I need something with tall ceilings, and this rig here like meets all of those standards for me. And that's I mean this really is just it's the perfect rig for me. So I mean, would I want a motorhome? No, not really. Like I'd like to just keep this as my coach, and then I'll just figure out like my tow rig. I'll just haul the toys with a tow rig or something like that. That's kind of what my thinking is. But and that's a problem with fifth wheels. I haven't really found a fifth wheel that I can fit inside the shower on the upper level, because most fifth wheels, they construct them on the upper level, the showers and the toilets, with the exception of like car haulers, like race car trailers. I've looked at those, and those are pretty cool. A lot of the times they build on those floor plans, they build the shower on the lower floor, but you're still stuck with trying to crawl up into those bunks in the bed in the front of those trailers, and there just isn't a lot of room, and that's why this bumper pull setup I can enter and exit the bed without, I've got plenty of room. I never, my head never touches the ceiling. So I certainly probably have more challenges than 90% of anybody that watches this video because I'm so tall. But finding a rig that works for you is gold, pure gold. Relocate to Omaha. Hey Ben, what's happening? Do you cook inside or outside more? I do cook inside. The This has a fan, a ventilation fan above the stove, and it actually works pretty well. I found out recently that these overhead. Oh, picture of my nephew there. These overhead ventilation fan systems, they have a damper in them. And when I first got this, I guess the damper was a little closed because I kept trying to figure out why the ventilation fan sucked in here. I mean, like suck as in sucked, like it wasn't sucking. Okay. And then so I got in there looking around, and there's a little sticker, and there's this little lever. Well, it's got this little damper in it. I'm not quite sure why they do it. It probably has something to do with the fire code or something. But when I opened it up and then turned the thing on, and this thing, it sucks everything out like really, really well. But yeah, the only issue with cooking, in your RV, like if you're going to cook, meat or chicken or things like that, you can get a little bit of a smell inside. So my preference is to cook outside, and even boiling lots of water. I would much rather do that outside than inside because of all the steam and everything. And the all of that stuff, it does kind of have a tendency, it seems, to find its way to the ceiling and all that. So yes, my preference is to cook outside. But for small, cooking, making eggs and that sort of a thing, I'll do that outside. I do a lot of grilling. I've got a small Weber grill, and I utilize that outside mostly. And then I am looking into getting a large burner, something that I can boil water, because I do like to cook spaghetti, and I like to make like a big package of spaghetti at a time. And I need, like, a big pot and then a big powerful burner to do that. So I'm looking at trying to get something like that going. But I've got I just put a 280 amp hour lithium battery in, and then I also put in a Renogy 2000-watt inverter. And this is the remote switch that I put in for the inverter. So when I want to turn the inverter on, I just press that button, lights up, and then that powers all of my outlets inside the RV. So I've got like 15 amps of power off my inverter. And I mounted you're probably not going to be able to see it, but I mounted the 280 amp hour battery. I have that. I mounted that underneath probably not going to be able to see it. Yeah, there it is. I mounted it underneath the sink, and then I've got the inverter mounted underneath that shelf right next to the battery. That's where I put everything. And I do plan to make a video eventually with more depth as to how all of that came together. So those of you that are interested in like a little bit of a blueprint to potentially follow, I'd like to show you guys kind of what I did. It's nothing super fancy. It's just a pretty simple system. But ever since I've done put this lithium battery conversion in here, I have yet to start my generator. I've got plenty of power, and I've only got 300 watts of solar panels on the roof, and that gets my battery fully charged by about noon here in Arizona. So I have plenty of power, and but I'm not using like a lot of power. I mean, I don't even use 20% of this battery every day, but I will eventually. I plan on getting some more devices. One of the things that I plan to do is I want to replace this LP refrigerator with a compressor driven DC 12 volt DC refrigerator. And that will eliminate propane consumption, a lot of propane consumption, because these fridges, they use a fair amount of propane. And the DC fridges, they're, in my opinion, from what I have seen, and my friends have put them in their rigs, and it's a game changer, night and day difference. Things stay a lot colder, and then you're utilizing solar energy to run your refrigerator instead of propane. And then um, that will basically I'll just be using the gas stove for propane, And then my hot water heater, that's also, that's my hot water heater switch right here. That will also be ran off of propane. So once I do that, I'll never be buying much propane at all. Maybe once every 6 months, I might buy some propane. But down here at Yuma, Arizona, I just paid $2.85 a gallon for propane. Not too bad. So I think I'd prefer to cook outside as well as along. The weather is good. Yeah. Yeah. Well, if you're in Arizona, the weather's going to be good. I cannot believe it. This entire winter, I have been down here in Arizona. It has not rained at all. Like, well, we got like a little bit, a little, like just some drops of rain, like one night, but we haven't had any rain at all. It's been a really remarkable winter in Arizona. That's it. Free electricity. That's right. Yeah, I mean, lithium batteries in an RV, when you make that conversion, that will change your life. Like, I'm kind of, I think, over the honeymoon period of it, but I was partying pretty good after I had it done because I had lots of power. and and so yeah, it's worked out really well, and it's super it's super cost effective today to do it. The prices have come down, and it's very reasonable and affordable for common common folk with regular budgets to be able to afford it. Big Billy, any problems with mice in desert chewing wiring? I've had some problems when I was up in Golden Shores, and but I haven't had any problems down here. The key is like with your garbage and your trash, you want to keep it in a sealed container. So I have a 5 gallon bucket in the back of my truck with a lid, and I put all of my, trash and like food debris and things like that. I'll put all of that in there and seal it up. And then there's a few other, that's the biggie, is trash and garbage. You don't want to have any trash outside because that's what they're looking for. And then the other tricks you can do is in like your engine compartment in your truck, you can spray peppermint oil. My friend Wayne just turned me on to a product you can buy. I forget the name of it, but it's like a peppermint oil, and you can spray it all over your vehicle and your engine compartment. And the mice don't like that at all. I have some dryer sheets stuffed in some areas in my engine compartment right now. Um, so yeah, so there are ways to mediate it, but I think the most effective thing is to spray the peppermint oil around everything. But no, I haven't had any issues. Um, last year, last year when I was leaving here, I had a mice in my rig, and for some reason it like I could never find it, and I had set traps and everything, but it had never fallen into any of the traps. I think it just like escaped on its own out of the rig, which is wonderful. But yes, mice and ants. Ants are another one. They can be a real problem, and you've got to keep your eye on that stuff as well. Ants like to they travel, so they like to travel up the power cord or your jacks, So I have some stuff underneath here. It's a spray, and I'll go around and put like a perimeter spray around things. But I don't seem to have a problem with that ants and stuff. Where I'm at right now, trying to get into the rig. What's up there, Scott? RV Bandwagon. Looks like you're on vacation. Awesome. That's right, man. Life is one big vacation. It should be, you know. Got to enjoy your life, man, every day and be grateful. That's right. Um, yes. So, and I have when I had my fifth wheel, I had ants when I was. I think I had gotten them when I was up in Oregon, and we're in that kind of damp, moist climate, and I had gotten some ants, and some ants got in, and they were in my roof, and they were inside my ceiling, and it was a mess. And it took me a couple of weeks to eradicate them, and I basically did it by there's this bait. It's like a clear kind of bait, and it comes in these trays, and you basically put it in the areas where they are, and it's kind of, I guess they this, they love the taste of it, I think. And once they take it, then they pass it along to the rest of the colony, and it works great. And this stuff is like and it's like, and once the colony gets a taste of it, it's a feeding frenzy, and it's on. It's an orgy of these guys coming to find wherever this bait is, and they take it and they pass it along to everybody else. So after about a good 7 days of that, I eventually got them all, got killed the entire colony. But it was a mess. It was a mess. But I learned my lesson. Lesson being that, you know, with power cords, for example, you've really, that's an area where they will, they'll get into. And I'm not quite sure, well, your roof too, the roof vents, all of the vents on your roof, they'll go into those. By walking up and standing on top of your roof. Speaking of my roof, I've got some repair work to do up there right now. I've got a roof vent that, cracked, and I'm going to be replacing that on the roof. But yeah, the ants and stuff, they'll get in through the roof vents as well. One thing you can do is, this rig has a retractable power cord, shore power cord. And one of the things you can do is install a box that basically, it's a sealed connection. So nothing from the outside can get inside. And the power cord becomes an auxiliary power cord that you plug into. It's basically an outlet, a 30 amp outlet that you put it on the outside of your rig. And then your shore power cord becomes your power cord / extension cord. That's another good way to seal up that area so nothing can get inside. Definitely grateful. Life's good, even with rodent problems. Absolutely. Could be a lot worse. Could be a lot worse. You could be in El Salvador right now in that maximum security prison in El Salvador. What the hell is it called? Moto or something like that. I watched a YouTube video the other night of this gentleman that went in and did a tour of this maximum security facility in El Salvador, and apparently it's the highest maximum security prison in the world. Yes, the world. And there are some human beings in there that leave a lot to be desired. A Big Billy, as a full timer, how do you plan your year, locations, employment? Yeah, that's a good question. Last couple of years for me, I've kind of been flying by night, but I've been coming down here to the Southwest since about 2016. So I kind of have a pretty good lay of the land. Although there's still a lot, quite a few places that I haven't been. But I just, found another place last October, November up in Golden Shores, which I really liked. Nice little place out there in the desert. You're asking, how do you plan things? Yeah. I guess, everybody's going to be different. There's, I'm definitely, kind of down here as a snowbird. And then, I am currently right now, I am looking at my next destination. So I am looking at Texas right now for myself. Looking at some work over there in Texas. But so yeah, how do you plan your year and things? Yeah, I guess I can't. Everybody's going to be a little bit different. I think as far as snowbirding and their work situations, and where do they go type of thing in the summer months. All I know is that where I'm at right now here in Yuma, it's too hot. It's too hot here in the summertime. Like, you can't be here in an RV. Even if you got your air conditioner running, it's still too hot. It's still too damn hot. Last summer, I spent the summer up in St. George, Utah. St. George, Utah, which is at about 4,500 feet of elevation. And for myself, I thought that was perfect, like for a summer desert heat. The high would be like at 100 degrees, but it wouldn't be there all day. It would kind of get there in the afternoon, and then it would cool down a little bit at night. Um, Towards kind of the middle of summer, I had to run my air conditioner 24/7. But yeah, that was a nice little desert climate up there in the summertime. If you do like some heat, which I do like heat. I'll take heat any day over freezing and snow and ice. But that's just me. It's a prison city. Yeah, prison city. Yeah, I don't know what city that it was in, but mostly it appeared to be a lot of gang members, mostly gangs, just gang related um people, But I think that I think they are sending some bad people from other countries there. I don't know. There's a great video on YouTube. It has like 50 million views. Yeah, I didn't. That's not a mistake. 50 million views, and you can go and check it out. Um, Myself, yeah. As far as locations and stuff go, last year I spent a little bit of time, traveling around. I kind of did a big circle. I went into West Texas. I went, El Paso, drove through Midland, and then I kind of went north up to Lubbock, and then I headed back west through New Mexico, and just I did a little bit of traveling through those areas. So um, yeah, I think a lot of it is just. I mean, New Mexico, has some beautiful places. I think that would be a great place to kind of trip around and check some places out. There's a lot of free camping in New Mexico, but I know when I'm on the road, I have a tendency. I'm okay with staying at casinos, rest areas, truck stops. I know it's not everyone's cup of tea, and I'm not certainly opposed to paying for a site for the night. I just like free parking, I guess, if you will. I don't need any hookups or anything, but I just like, free places off the road I can park for the night. And that seems to work really well for me. And that's the way I have traveled. Actually, through 2022, I traveled all the way to Kentucky, and um, I plugged in at two RV parks in Kansas, and that was because it was like, I don't know, August or whatever. It was super hot and humid, and I needed a place to run. I needed power so that I could run my air conditioner. But on that trip, I pretty much I stayed at truck stops, rest areas, and in the Midwest they have they're called Cenex, and they're kind of like a country store slash restaurant slash truck stop. And at those places they have parking slips and stalls, and a lot of times you can just park, next to the trucks, wherever the trucks park, and you can spend a night there. That worked. I mean, I did that a lot in the Midwest, Missouri, Indiana. That worked out really, really well, So, and be honest with you, like I really like the Midwest a lot. Like I mean, I enjoy traveling. I mean, to me, it's a whole nother world. The Midwest is just like it is out here in the West. Arizona, Nevada, California. It's a whole nother world out here. Like you go out into Nevada and travel on some of those highways, and you're like, man, am I still in the United States of America? And then you go out to Kansas and you drive through Kansas, through farm country, and you're like, where the hell am I? I'm in like, am I still, I don't know, am I still in America? So yeah, I love, like it's fun. I love changing environments and going into, um other environments because every state is different. Free camping at casinos seems nice. Yes, yeah, most of the time. In New Mexico has a lot of casinos, and they're great. I stayed. A lot of them are off of the major interstates. A lot of people don't like traveling on the interstate, but yeah, there's a lot of casinos. And yeah, the casinos are great because you just roll up in the parking lot for the night and sometimes you can go in and patronage them with maybe a meal or something like that. But they're very welcoming of you, and then they generally have at the casinos and the reservations they generally have a pretty good price on fuel, which is that's a commodity that is a full-time RVer. You spend a lot of money on fuel. So you've got your Gas Buddy app on your phone, and you're trying to find the best price of fuel. That's well, truck drivers do it too. Independent truck driver owners, they do that too. And so yeah, it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. It's a fun life. I kind of get talking quite a bit here, so I probably spend a lot of time answering some of your questions, and but I try to just give you guys a good question. I do these live streams. I like to help help people out and provide some entertainment. You know what I'm saying? And kind of share the ride, share the share the experience. No rock left unturned, so to speak. But I do enjoy talking about kind of life out here, and sharing some of my experiences because I know there's some of you out there that are still thinking about buying a camper, buying a van, getting some kind of an RV, some kind of a rig, and um, live the traveling lifestyle as that's not my saying. That would be Jamie from Enigmatic Nomadics. When Jamie used to post content on his channel, he does now and then, but he used to always say that. He used to use that word, the traveling lifestyle, and I like that. I think that's a good way to conceptualize it. The the traveling lifestyle, kind of living life without a a permanent address. I just don't like the smell of diesel at the truck stops. Ah, that's the best part. The diesel at the truck stops. Well, I'll take the smell of the diesel than the smell of the parking lots with human waste in the parking lots. I think you know what I'm talking about. That really bothers me. And then the other thing that bothers me at truck stops kind of goes hand in hand. It's walking through the parking lot with your shoes and stuff. So um, it just seems like you know, after I've been to a truck stop, I've got my shoes and I'm like trying to find some grass or something that I can wash and clean the bottom of them off before I get into my vehicle or my RV, so I'm not tracking all of that lovely, um, you know, waste all over everywhere. You know what I'm saying? Fresh cornfields is better. Yes, yeah, it is. I mean, I loved the Midwest. I mean, I loved traveling, you know, in the RV and everything. I mean, it can get in the summertime. When I was traveling, it was June, so it wasn't like super hot, you know, August, you know, high humidity type of thing, you know. But June was absolutely beautiful, and then of course, you know, you got to kind of I think be paying attention a little bit to the weather, you know, if there's a tornado coming through. But I think I'd rather dodge a tornado than like deal with a hailstorm, which I did experience a treacherous hail rainstorm when I was in Colorado in this town east of Denver. I actually took a video of it. I still have the video, but I don't think I ever uploaded it. And it's me sitting in my truck listening to this rain pounding on my truck like hail, pretty good size hail. But Colorado can get some really nasty hailstorms, just like, I mean, probably everywhere in the Midwest. But um, yeah, I didn't like the hailstorms. Those things can get, you know, real unpredictable. You know, you don't know how large of hail it's going to be. And that stuff can do some considerable damage to your rig. Casinos have cleaner facilities, I think. Yes, most of the time, even truck stops, from my experience, they're cleaner than than just um, a truck stop out in the middle of nowhere. But you know, it is what it is. I'm not. I mean, I'm a truck driver myself, so like I'm not, you know, trying to get down on people. You know, that over the road lifestyle. It's a really it's a hard life, man. It's a really hard life, and I feel for all those guys and gals that, you know, that do that for a living. You know, and hey, you know, you got to go, you got to go. So I'm not certainly not you know, getting on them at all, but I think there is better ways of handling it than just dumping it out into the parking lot where everyone is walking. So do you guys have any other questions, or I really rambled on like for a long time about the rig, and I'm going to step back outside again and see what's going on out here, see how the storm is going, how this windstorm is doing. You guys are wondering what I'm drinking. Drinking a little bit of not so good for you Dr. Thunder, zero sugar. It's got some caffeine in it, so it helps power up the live stream. Yeah, it's getting a little bit dustier out here. Getting a little bit dustier out here. And windier, I should say, out here. A little bit of sunshine going down. Kind of barely see the mountains over there. The chocolate mountains. You guys have any other questions? Hey Ben, I still want to do a interview and a live with you. I've just been busy. I need to open my laptop and do a practice run. So I haven't forgotten about you, Ben. And I hope you haven't forgotten about me. So just wanted to let you know. Yeah, it's blowing out here about probably 10, 15 miles per hour right now. But it's kind of what it looks like out here in the desert at the BLM, Bureau of Land Management camping. Pretty much camp wherever you want. There's good access to water. Yuma is a great place. Yuma has great shopping, and I mean, you can get anything you want in Yuma. That's probably one of the reasons why Yuma is probably my favorite area to stay during the winter months is down here in Yuma, just because there's just great. Yuma's got everything, great shopping and great access to everything. If you want to order stuff online, there's like 3 UPS stores here in Yuma, like 3 of them, and you can get packages, like all over the place. So there's a one out in the foothills, and there's a couple in kind of Maine downtown. Yeah, there's a kind of an old school meetup going on right now up in Glamis. I was thinking about going, but I probably should have went. I probably should have went, but just to meet people. Merlin's old school garage. He's been putting it on. I think it's the 2nd year, and they do it up there at the Glamis store in Glamis. Right behind it, just a whole bunch of people show up with old school sand toys, mostly sandrails, Volkswagen vintage, and I think also there's some ATVs in there as well. But anyways, yeah, it's a fun place. I enjoy it down here a lot. I'm an off-roading guy. At heart. So I just feel like this is my paradise. Down here. So. Anything else you guys want to see? Trying to kind of give you guys some different views down here, and we'll show you what it looks like. So yeah, I've got some more still got some projects I'm working on. I want to get working on this next, my truck, the killer dowel pin. I kind of mentioned that a while back. I got all the parts for it. I just need to do it. Should probably take me about a day to do, but get the killer dowel pin done on the truck. See if it's been done. I did buy one of those inspection cameras, and I removed the oil filler tube and tried to put an inspection camera inside through the timing cover, but I wasn't able to really see anything. So maybe I didn't have a good enough camera, but I'm just going to end up taking it apart and taking a look at it. It'll be a good experience for me, see what the inside of the engine looks like. Jesus happy. Hey, Oregon is better. Okay. Hey, you got this in Oregon? Do you have this here? You got this in Oregon? I don't think you got this in Oregon. No, you don't got this in Oregon. No, it's crazy, man. Like, this journey for me, it all started, with my move to Oregon. And it's kind of funny how, like, now the journey has it's got me here. And I've actually kind of really grown to, love the desert, like, who would have thunk, right? And of course, this is where all the freedom is. You like freedom? Well, the desert is where the freedom is. Okay. So anyways, Dave, it's great to see you. I hope you're doing well, you and Nancy. But no, I've really grown a lot, since my journey began in Oregon. I've met some amazing people, and I've, the journey is far from over yet. It's really kind of just beginning as far as I'm concerned. So, it's really, I think, it's been a journey of, personal growth, personal development, going through facing my fears. And it's pretty much, it's been just a lot of that. And overcoming obstacles, but mainly going through, just going through fear, going through your own fears. And everybody's got their own, their own baggage. But if you have the courage to take action and face your fears and go through processes, it's amazing what what will open up for you on the other side of that. So that's my thoughts with Oregon. But yeah, yeah. So I don't know. It's all I think about. It's all about, just experiencing things and living in different places. I know has changed my world, like, a whole lot, like it's a beautiful thing to just live in different places and try things out, and see, what's this place like, and how do they do things, and what's the culture like, and what's the people like, and I just think it's a really important thing to do, during your life, if you certainly can. I have no regrets. It's today I don't know. I mean, when I'm older, I don't know. I mean, I don't know I might say something different when I'm older, but all I know is that in life you have to try things. You have to, to win in life, you have to try, you have to fail, you have to go through fear, you have to overcome your emotions. There's no other way. You know what I'm saying? And so, and the sooner you get on with that process in your life, I just think, you're I think that's the good, that's where the good stuff lies in life. It's on the other side of all this stuff, and it also will make you understand and realize too that to be careful what you wish for. That's another one too. Be careful what you wish for. You will be humbled if you take a journey like I have taken over the last decade or whatever in your life, it will humble you. It will humble you, and it will also adjust some of your beliefs you have about a lot of things. Everything, man. Money, life, death. I mean, I mean everything. It will adjust. It will adjust some of your belief systems that you have in your programming that you've had from a child, from a young person to being an adult. You know, we have all this programming that happens when we're young, and and then we come into adulthood, and a lot of it tends to manifest itself in adulthood. That's why people go through years of therapy and all this kind of stuff. I've done some of that, but I suggest, the path I suggest is to just don't be afraid to live. Don't be afraid to live and try. And, I used to kind of say that I used to say and talk like, oh, life's an experiment, whatever, yada, yada, yada. Life's an experiment or whatever. Like, life is not an experiment. Well, not in the sense where it's kind of like, no, like life is like a buffet. Okay. Now I really, really believe that, life is like a buffet. And this is something that I learned a long time ago, or the seed was planted for me, a guy by the name of Wayne Dyer. And he talked about, life being like a buffet. Well, what's going on over here? What are they doing? What are those people doing over here? What's going on? I don't know. Like, go try it out. What is that? What does it taste like? What is cow? What is cow tongue? What does it taste like? Have you ever had it? I don't know. Why don't you try it? Why don't you try it and see what it's like? So, life. I mean, to me, life is a lot like that. In order to kind of figure out what. I always ask a lot of times I ask the question, what is the goal? What is the goal? Well, to figure out what the goal is, sometimes you need to go out and you need to try a lot of stuff to figure out what the goal is for you. Very oversimplified example, but yeah, life is to be lived, and you have to have the courage to live it and not be afraid. So that's really, I think, the only message that I have is to just live, and don't be afraid of living, and don't be afraid of trying, and don't be afraid of failing. And if there's something that you really want to do, you probably should do it. You can always go back to doing what you were doing before if it doesn't work out. Although everyone's situation is different. But all I know is the comfort zone generally is the failure zone. The comfort zone is the failure zone. Okay? So in order to grow, you gotta break free from that comfortable, whatever it is, that comfortable job, that, comfortable stuff that really isn't serving you. You've got to break free from that and live. So that's my rant. Not sure quite how I got off on talking about that, but it felt right. It felt right. Maybe there's a few of you out there that was you needed to hear that. Well, I'm going to go inside, I think, where it's a little bit, still actually pretty light out here. Still pretty light out here in the old desert. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and bring it inside here. Appreciate y'all watching. Taking time out of your life to take a little ride of my life. Take a little ride of my life here. Sweet Home Alabama on the radio. It's a good song. That's another thing I did. I upgraded the lighting in here to these LED lights, and they're really cool. This is 25%. This is 50%. 75%. 100%. So it's got these settings that you can adjust the illumination. It's all LED. I tell you what, I put 2 of these in here. They're like $30 a piece. Let me tell you something. Some of the best $30 I ever spent was buying these lights. Okay, and they hardly use any electricity at all. So yeah, if this company wants to sponsor me, I will sell these lights all day long for you because they're really, really good and they work outstanding. Got to have some good lights. And then when you're off the grid, well, you know, using solar power, you really want to try to have devices that are energy conserving. The video you made of your engine rebuild was amazing video, one of your best videos. Wow. Well, thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, I after I put it up, I kind of realized that I forgot to, well, I think when I was building the motor, I forgot to record the installation of the top end. So the cylinder mounting to the case, the engine case, the top cylinder. And I kind of left that out, but I think people kind of got the general idea of it. But thank you, I appreciate it. Yeah, that was a real labor of love. That was the first time that I ever took a case apart and took some things apart, put it back together. But thank God there are some great videos on YouTube that explain how to um, put everything, you know, how-to videos talking about how to put everything back together. So it's all nuts and bolts and that kind of a thing. So yeah, it's yeah, that was definitely a success, and it was fun to do that out here in the desert. And I think I'm definitely qualified now to rebuild, you know, engines and that kind of a thing. So I wouldn't actually mind, you know, having a little side business doing that while I was like out here in the desert, you know, during the winter months, you know, maybe taking on some projects for people or whatever, you know, with their engines and that kind of a thing. Um, that would be a lot of fun. I would actually enjoy doing that. So, yeah. Well, let's see here. At about an hour and 15 minutes, think I'm going to wrap up the live here tonight, guys. It's been great checking in here with you all, and hope you're all doing great out there. If there's any other questions I can answer for you, I think I am going to shut down the live here. I don't think I've got anything else to share and talk about right now at the moment, unless you guys have some questions. Was kind of expecting this wind storm to be a little more windier than it is right now, but it's not really too bad right now. So I think I'm going to check out, guys. We'll see you all later. Thanks again. I appreciate you all watching. Take care and have a great night. And Ben, I'll be in touch with you, man. Take care, everyone. Good night.